Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Market cap 372. It's been bouncing up and down, treading sideways. Let's go ahead and look at the 7-day for Bitcoin. And it's been interesting because, here we are, just kind of sloshing around. And it's interesting because I've noticed, just doing research, 2017, the prices of coins blew up, right? The market cap of coins blew up in 2017. Even though a lot of them didn't have projects. So it's like 2017 was the year of great speculation. A lot of the coins I'm in now, they blew up in price before they really even had a working platform. And then this year they launch a platform and the price is not as high. There's a different correlation. So I just look at 2017. You can just look at it as two lines. It was like there's a lot more projects coming out with no utility, no platform, and the prices just kept going up and up and up. This year, a lot of platforms came out and the prices have not been going up. So it's just like the opposite. Obviously, you can play both. If you're looking for short-term gains, you want a year like 2017. If you're looking for long-term growth, you want a year like 2018. I can paint you this picture. If you were to fly, 3 years into the future, spot, the price of Bitcoin at 100K, come back to your life now. Maybe you're not rich. You would want to accumulate as much as possible, right? Would you want the price to remain cheap as long as possible? If you knew 3 years from now Bitcoin is going to be 100K, the obvious answer to that is yes. So that just comes down to confidence. That comes down to making a choice. So when I make a decision, when I make a choice, I ride with it as if it happened, right? So when I made my investment in Bitcoin, it's like I went 3 years in the future and it was at 100K and then I come back here. And that's how I allocate some of my money and I treat it that way, right? So you have to obviously have good bankroll management. Yeah. You can learn all that from me or many other people. It's basics of just investing, but really just basics of being a functional human being that wants to accumulate wealth. You obviously have to learn how to save and invest and bankroll management and all that. But I just paint people that picture because a lot of people are like, man, Dan, a lot of your projects, my project, just coins that I'm invested in, a lot of projects that other people are invested in, are like, man, the platform came out, everything's going good, and the prices, they're just not budging. They're not moving at all. And it's funny because there's a lot of herd mentality. If a lot of people think one thing that aren't putting in the work, then that thing is probably wrong. It's funny because my brother, he's in prison. He runs a bookie for sports betting. And he always takes action against the majority because the majority are lazy and don't do any work. And they're just picking off what the majority picks off. So it's really easy to get it wrong if you're the masses because if everyone's not rich, if like 2% of people are rich, it's some stupid statistic, very few people are rich, then why is the majority going to be right? They're poor. They're middle class. They're not rich. So why would they have the answer? Because then they would all be rich if they had the answer, right? It's just logical. But it's very hard to go against the herd. When the ground's trembling and people are running at you, it's very hard not to go in the same direction. That's why when I buy something, I never once asked, why isn't anyone else buying this? That has never come into my mind when I'm buying a coin. I could give a fuck less if anyone's buying it. It does not matter. I do the fundamental research. If I like the project, if I like the team, I stick with it. It's that simple. I don't need outside gratification. I don't need somebody to come out and say, okay, that's okay. Good investment, Dan. No, that's not. You're not going to get rich doing that. You might get mediocre gains, whatever. It's funny because my object was never to become rich. That's not the goal. It's just a part of the journey. You accumulate wealth. I don't revolve around wealth. Wealth revolves around me. I just simply have to stick my hand out and my hand fills with cash. That's how life is when you create a foundation that you can build on top of. And then it's just like a conveyor belt aligning all of your interests in the same direction. And it's just a conveyor belt to success. And then you're successful if you want to be or not. It doesn't matter. Once you set up that conveyor belt, you can't, it is what it is. A lot of people, herd mentality in 2017. And guess what? It's the exact opposite. People aren't buying a coin. And guess what the herd's doing? Oh, why isn't anyone buying this coin? And then they're going and, they're just frantically chasing whatever green candle they can next. It's not what I do. Like, for instance, something like No Limit Coin, here I am. I played this game. Like, I don't give a fuck if any investors get into this or not. Like, I believe that because I enjoy this game, right? Because I enjoy playing fantasy sports, and now they're going to have poker and all that. I believe someone else is going to. I'm going to enter a game right now. 20K, heads up. Let's go. You're going to be able to see my team. Moonville. Now you're going to edit it. Thug Life. Enter contest. Boom. That's working, right? I've been playing and I've been winning. I think I hit two last. I won one last night and then I lost the other one. Who did I lose to? Holla SM Candy. He's in the site, but yeah, he picked a better portfolio than me. Good job, congrats. The point is, this is working. And it's funny because last year this coin shot up in price before it was even working, really. I mean, football had just kind of launched, but there was a lot of bugs. And people bought the fuck out of it. And now that has like all this, like, it's just badass. License everywhere, poker. Like, I'm not trying to sell you No Limit Coin. Like I said, I give a fuck less if you like it or not. I'm just saying, like, I'm just contradicting, comparing 2017 to now, and the herd mentality of people who, you know, oh my God, one time, you know, this No Limit Coin was like the top gainer in the top 100 like weeks in a row, and now that it's actually delivered on what it promised, this is what everyone invested for and hoped for, that a working badass platform would come out. You know, it's a little bit quiet now, but that's funny. And then you have something like ONGs, like they have a working platform. This is better than Facebook in my opinion. There's a lot more coming out. But this is the beta. You can sign up. You can use it. You can, you know what I mean? It's working. They delivered on what they promised. Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, there's a little things coming up here and there, but I mean, it's a working platform, right? This is just beta. They're about to do the big merge, and I'm going to deposit some ONG and switch to this, but it's just, that's what it is. If you have to ask yourself, why isn't anyone buying? Then you have to ask yourself a lot of other questions too. Because you're lost if you have to ask that question, because you're looking for someone else to tell you the way. That's not how it is. It's not that easy. It's kind of like people with Bitcoin. People trust, you know, don't trust verify, right? If you don't have control of your life, if you haven't put in enough work to make an educated opinion about something, and you always have to have validation from somebody outside, right? You're trusting your life to someone else. You're trusting your business to someone else. I would never feel that comfortable. I've never, ever bought anything on anyone else's recommendation. Now, no, I don't say that, but they've recommended it. They've poked it into my awareness, but I never blindly bought it. I went and dug and said yes or no. You got to be able to agree or disagree, even with mentors, even with people you respect. You have to be able to, you know, agree and disagree with them. So just obvious shit I'm saying, right? But these are fundamentals, though. That's the thing, like, when you stop practicing free throws and then you're in the game and the free throw comes up and you think, oh, this is nothing, and then you miss it. That's what happens when you don't practice fundamentals when it's crunch time, when even when it's not crunch time, when you just don't always consistent with your fundamentals, when the game's on, the game's off, or you're practicing, it doesn't matter. You're always going to come correct when the time is right. So this is just a really good time to practice fundamentals and dig deep and realize, hey, what am I really in this for? Because I already went, you know, in my head, I'm already 3 years in the future. I already know, I've already made my decision, right? There's too many billionaires in crypto now. There's too many people who have too much to gain for crypto to lose. Like there's a lot of billionaires. There's a lot of wealth, especially accumulators. There's a lot of Bitcoin billionaires and a lot of crypto billionaires that are new that came up. But that's beyond the point. There's a lot of people who are very strong who are outside of government and don't like the way the world's working right now. A lot of entrepreneurs that are seeing to it that this thing's staying afloat. You can just think of this thing like Rocky, this market. It's getting punched, it's getting beat, because that's the thing about Bitcoin. You have two sides to it. You have people who want to buy, but they always want to buy it cheaper. And then if you have people who want to suppress the price so then they can accumulate a lot. See, it's willy-nilly. If you can drop this price at 6,000, trade it sideways for a week, now you can accumulate a lot more at 6,000. So yeah, you might have lost a little bit dumping from 8,000 to 6,000, but you get it on the back end by being able to accumulate it at a 30% discount. That's the game. It's obviously happening. I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. That's what's happening in my eyes. And it's very easy to do that with the playbook. It's easy to keep the price down. So if you have somebody wanting to buy it, of course they want to buy it at a cheaper price. And if you have someone who's trying to suppress the price, they kind of work in tangent, right? If you have some big whales and you notice somebody trying to suppress the price, why are you going to buy it at that? You're just going to play the game with them. High five. Say, hey, price suppressor, right on. I'll catch you at the bottom. So you have Bitcoin to be at the price it is, you have to understand all the powers that are going against it. It's much easier for the price to be cheaper than it is to be more expensive if there's a big time price suppressor. Because when the whales catch on, they'll actually work with the price suppressor. They don't have to fucking talk or actually be on the same level, but it's just kind of like a order book nod, right? You see what they're doing, and then you're smart, you catch on to it. So I just think that it's very, very impressive what's happening. You're seeing it's funny because right when this big epic crash happened, everyone was busting out the charts, and the chart said boom, and then it went all the way down. It didn't bounce this high. Most of them just, and now you're starting to see, because this has happened many times in Bitcoin history. However, 2017 was the great awareness for crypto, the great crypto boom, where a lot of new people got in. So this is really the first big time ugly crash that a lot of people have experienced, but it's done this many, many times before. But of course, the big time people are going to try to, this is it, this is the end. Guess what? When this thing fucking breaks the all-time high, see you at the finish line. There's nothing anyone can do at this point except if you're against it, to accumulate it. Because it's like, if you can't beat them, you got to fucking accumulate them, right? So, yeah, that's basically what I want to talk about. Now, I'm going to be officially, once the ONG site is officially done, I'm going to be officially quitting Facebook, moving everything on the ONG. I don't need people spying on my fucking shit. At this point, I don't give a fuck if Facebook comes out a coin or not. I don't trust him. I don't like him. I really don't like him. I don't like what he's done. I used to think the dude was pretty cool, but the more I dig, the more I don't like dude. So, that's enough for me to use ONG, because I like Chris. I like the CEO. He's a stand-up guy. He's transparent. He's just a fighter, right? So, just right now, I believe that this is a great time for accumulation. If you've made a decision, if you've done your own research, if you really believe in the future of the space, I want the prices to be cheap as possible, because I don't give a fuck. I have the confidence. I can let it burn. I don't care. I don't need this. I don't need gratification. I don't need to be reminded that, oh, I need a green candle soon or I'm going to get shaky. I need to be reminded that everything's okay, because that's all a green candle is. It's a pat on the back. Everything's okay. If you're trading for short term, you got day traders, hey, holler at you. I'm not against that, obviously. I invest in it. I'm just saying that for a lot of people, probably 90% plus people who are just hodlers, don't really know how to get trade. You're going to get fucking wrecked if you don't know what you're doing, right? Just a good time to accumulate. Dollar cost average. Been saying that, it's always cheap until it's not. I look at EOS at this price. It reminds me of when it was 50 cents last year, and I see extra zeros right here. It's kind of like, go back and look at Ethereum in January of last year, and then look at it now and just kind of envision other coins that are kind of new to the party, like an EOS or Cardano or Neo or whatever. Although Neo's not really new to the party, but it's been quiet for a while. Just a lot of interesting things, lots of gems to learn in the past. Listen to what people talk about during the bubble. Listen to who made it. Go listen to Jeff Bezos. Go listen to Bill Gates. Go listen to the people who actually succeeded but were startup entrepreneurs back then, back before anyone really knew who they were. Listen to him talk. Jeff Bezos way before Amazon, right? He was already he was damn successful when he made Amazon. Already a billionaire, but just go back and look at those people talk. That's where I get a lot of good things. And then I can translate that, look at their eyes, their body language, their confidence, translate that, listen to the winners and the losers, right? If you could find some footage of the CEOs of pet.com, analyze them, the winners and the losers, the eyes, how they are. You can see how fucking confident someone is in their voice and their eyes, their gestures, how they are. You can really pick up a lot. And then translate that to some newer winners, right? Some people who have won recently, maybe have Vitalik, people who've already had some success recently in this field. And then you can compare it to the new people who have yet to have success, and you can see, hey, the traits match. Are these people really confident? Do they really believe? Because when you can find, and when you have the ability to read somebody and you can say, man, this person's got it. This person's hungry. This person's going to do great things. When you can spot the winners, that's when your investments become easier and easier, because winners don't lose. They find a way, even when no one believes, even when they appear to be down and out. The whole thing about life is if you don't give up, it eventually breaks away. If you keep hitting the wall, it'll eventually fall. And people wisen up. They learn when they bruise their hands, and they say, well, I can't use my hands. I got to go get a fucking a hammer. You learn, right? That's what life's about. If you never give up, you learn through the pain, and you mold yourself into this sharp sword that slices through anything. So, spot the winners, dollar cost average. That's what I'm doing. Enjoy the week. Cheers. Peace.